Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I'm the best reporting on the Eagles. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, I got to let y'all know this video was brought to you by Print Champs. Big Print Champs in the building. Listen, if you want to look as good as Tatiana, just go ahead and get you a her season hat. You know the vibes with that, man. The link for the description for all the merch going to be in there, man. It's getting hot outside. Earlier than I thought it was going to be, but you know it is what it is, man. So let's get into it, man. So our leading candidate for the defensive coordinator position, Vance Joseph, I think he had 2 interviews so far. I think he had a 2-hour interview with Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie sometime this week. He just signed on to be the defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. It kind of makes me wonder a little bit when things like this happen, yo. I kind of wonder, like, did Howie Roseman finally get outplayed? Or, you know what I mean? Did somebody finally beat Howie Roseman? It appears to be that way right now, and from my perspective. But, in the long run, I don't think so, man. This is Howie Roseman we're talking about. And this is why I say that. We send Jonathan Gannon over there, knowing that it would possibly move Vance Joseph out of the door and he would possibly fall right into our lap because Jonathan Gannon is a defensive guy. He's probably going to call the plays over there, or he's probably going to want to bring his own guy in, which he did. So Vance Joseph was out on a limb looking for a job. We thought that it would be a perfect swap. You know what I mean? You take Jonathan Gannon, we take Vance Joseph. But a new player on the block came this season in the form of Sean Payton for the Denver Broncos. So it kind of boils down to this. Do you want to play with, one of the best coaches, of all time or as of late in Sean Payton? Or do you want to play with an organization that, had a good year and could be losing some players on that side of the ball? So I think it kind of boiled down to I could be on Sean Payton's staff, or I could be on Nick Sirianni's staff. And if you got to choose between the 2 head coaches, 9 times out of 10, most defensive coordinators would choose Sean Payton. Although, Nick Sirianni been to a Super Bowl and Sean Payton ain't been to one since 2009. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. But, I wasn't really too high on Vance Joseph anyway. You know what I mean? The organization was clearly, we gave him a second interview, but it's not even really a slap in the face, man. I'm not really too much worried about it, man. I thought that the numbers showed that he, blitzed a little too much, in my opinion. And, what top defense did those guys have? They were top in pressure, dialing up pressure. But, did it translate into wins or a deep playoff win for them as of late? And the answer to that is no. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. The answer to that is no. And you can't really, in my opinion, play a guy like Howie Roseman, man. Let's understand who Howie Roseman is, first of all. First of all, Hassan Reddick is on a team-friendly deal. A team-friendly deal. Look up the top 10 defensive ends that's getting paid this year. Hassan Reddick ain't in the top 10. Hassan Reddick is not in the top 10. In fact, it's like 3 guys that get paid more than Hassan Reddick who didn't even have 5 sacks this year. Didn't even have 5 sacks this year. We getting Hassan Reddick for what? I think it was $15 million a year. $15 million a year for Hassan Reddick. He was he was the best defensive end in football. He was the best edge rusher in the game. The best edge rusher in the game. The only person that got more value from an edge rusher perspective than Hassan Reddick is Micah Parsons, only because he playing on a rookie deal. Only because Hassan Reddick, with his numbers, could be easily getting $18 to $20 million a year. $18 to $20 million a year. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are only going to cost us this upcoming season, I think it was $13 million. $13 million. This upcoming season, that's how much they're going to, affect our books. The point of this is in Howie we trust. Trust Howie Roseman, man, because Howie Roseman is going to always do what's needed to put this team in the best situation. We might not like the moves at first, but when it all pans out, Howie Roseman's plan is going to take effect beautifully. Beautifully. Howie Roseman's plan. So I'm not really worried about how any of this is going to shape out for the offseason. But with Howie Roseman, you got to understand to expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected when you're dealing with Howie Roseman. What you think you know nothing in terms of how Howie Roseman is going to work this cap and free agency. You know nothing, which is why I think outside the box in terms of being a content creator, because I know the front office and I know what we're dealing with. When I was jumping out of my skin over the moon for the Hassan Reddick move, a lot of y'all wasn't excited about it. I was excited because I seen the bargain early. A lot of people weren't excited about Hassan Reddick as they should have been. Now, in hindsight, you see what it is with Haas. You see what it is in hindsight. Now you know we got one. But I've been excited because I know the caliber of player and I know the dog mentality that he was going to bring to this team. You know what I mean? Hindsight is everything when you're dealing with Howie Roseman. When you look at some of the moves he's making now, you want to be able to, a year from now, and say, well, Howie Roseman got it done. A lot of people are saying that, the Philadelphia Eagles got to draft a running back, They're talking about the Alabama running backs. They're talking about we are going to get a running back because we're not going to sign Miles Sanders. Don't be surprised if Howie Roseman signs a running back in free agency. Don't be surprised that instead of paying Miles Sanders, Howie Roseman pays a running back with a different style. It's not far-fetched at all. And the guy that comes to mind for me that nobody really is talking about is David Montgomery from the Chicago Bears. David Montgomery from the Chicago Bears would be a perfect fit to run behind his offensive line. He'd be a top 5 back if you're getting behind his line. He got better hands than Miles, better size than Miles, more of a thumper than Miles, a true lightning and thunder combination. You know what I mean? With Gainwell and David Montgomery, I think that this offense could take another step forward. It could take another step forward in regards like that. So, the bottom line is this. Howie Roseman is going to do some things that's going to have us scratching our head this offseason. I can see it coming now, but I'm telling you, it's going to pan out. What worries me the most is that the leading candidate for the defensive coordinator position, it's almost like we might be at square one with this thing here, man. You know what I mean? Homeboy from Wisconsin, he declined the job. You know what I mean? I think he was getting surgery sometime this year or something like that. So that's probably, why he declined the job. But we gotta find this guy. We gotta narrow this thing down because the combine is in a couple weeks. Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman, I think they'll be giving a press conference around March 1st. From the combine, you know what I mean? So you want to have your defensive coordinators in place so they can implement their system. So they can start looking at free agents and guys in the draft that can run their system. So you got to get these coordinators in place. You got to announce Brian Johnson. I believe it's going to be him, but I don't know what's taking him so long to announce it. Make the moves. And you know what I mean? Let's get this thing on and popping. You know what I mean? Let's get it on and popping. It is possible that you can get worse than Jonathan Gannon at the defensive coordinator position. I don't want to make that assumption that everybody will be better than Jonathan Gannon because that's not the case. You still got to do your due diligence and pick the right guy. But Vance Joseph going over there to suckle at the teat of Sean Payton does not surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me at all. He just came from being under Cliff Kingsbury. Dude is buns. Cliff Kingsbury. You know what I mean? He just came from being under that guy. So I'm not mad at him wanting to go get under the tutelage of Sean Payton and bring what he could bring to the table for that organization, man. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man, about, David Montgomery possibly getting a running back in free agency. There's a lot of them out there. You never know what Kareem Hunt's situation is. You know what I mean? But I think the running back position is important because you're looking for a guy that could come in day one and contribute, man. Y'all know the vibes. More content coming all week, man.